Hey guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts, and this is Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019. Half the year is gone. When I think about it, it's like the last 6 months was a long time and it stretched on forever, but it also went by just like that. I always find as time goes by and how it speeds up and slows down. You've heard me talk about it before. I'm always very surprised and intrigued in how we can all be living at the same time. 24 hours is 24 hours, but some days feel like they've been more like 72 hours and other ones go by in like 6 minutes. So with everything going on around my house, I'm really not having time to make quilts, whether they're small ones or large ones, and to just show like little bits and pieces whenever I do a 4-patch. That's more for my Whip It Wednesday. So on my Talk to Me Tuesday, I thought I would show you some quilts that I've made in the past that you haven't seen, talk about them a little bit, or show you some quilt tops that I really need to get finished. You know what I mean? Some of them just need to be quilted and bound and finished that way, and others of them still need to be made larger with borders or something. Since it's July, I thought I'd start today with a Christmas in July string quilt. These, as you can see, have the white strings that go through the center. This is from a swap I did several years ago, probably 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. It's been a while, I'm sure. I believe this swap was done on the forum of Quilting Around the World. And if I remember correctly, everything looks like the center strips are 2.5 inches and they were any type of white that you wanted, but the rest of your strips could be any width. Now, this is when I really first started doing group swaps and I really loved it, but I also did learn that I do not like my strings on foundation fabric. I don't like the extra weight that it gives the quilt. It's not like stiff, but it feels like the difference between wearing comfortable sweats and wearing a pair of tight jeans. You know, this feels very sturdy and stuff, and I'm sure that that's great, and a lot of you guys love to do them on foundations, but I'm willing to take the time to rip the paper off just so that I can go ahead and use some nice batting and make it feel more snuggly and soft, because that's what I want with a quilt. I want it to be all cuddly and crinkly and wrinkly and all that. When we did these finished off, I believe they're 10.5-inch squares, so they finish at 10 inches, and I have 4x6, so basically 40x60. I've learned that I do not care for a quilt that's just this wide, that it does lay nicely to cover a bed if you want to just have it look that way, but that it needs to be a bit wider. Because I kind of like, for me, I kind of like to, like when I'm sleeping in bed, I like to snuggle and cover up and around and tuck it all in and snuggle up like this. So this would be great on a couch. But I think for if I wanted it on a bed or for a good snuggle couch quilt, it needs to have at least one more row of strings. So this quilt, I will need to add more strings, which means I need to make 10 blocks that have foundation pieced. We did these all on muslin. It's all creamy colored, so what is that? Oh, no, here's some white ones. So I think they're like unbleached usually. That's what most of us were using when we were doing this swap. But there's a lot of fun novelty prints. This was one of those swaps that we were actually allowed to use novelty prints. We were encouraged to use them. So eventually I'll get this finished and I'll add it on. It'd be one of those things that'd be nice to finish for this year, because really it's just adding on the 10 squares and it doesn't take but a day to make those squares. And I won't be putting any batting in it, so maybe put a nice flannel on the back for a nice snuggly quilt that way. Get it up, quilt it up a little bit, and it'll be done. So is anyone else doing Christmas in July? I love to do Christmas in July, but I have not planned ahead this year, and I just don't think I'm going to find the time to do any type of projects in Christmas in July. I like to do ornaments and to get gifts started and to do decorations, the holiday decorations. Because let's face it, a lot of times the good So let's face it, a lot of times the good holiday decorations come out like during the month of the holiday. And during December, we're all too busy doing what we need to do, or going out to parties, or finishing up Christmas presents and stuff, to actually do decorations for around the house. So I do like to do them in Christmas in July, but maybe I'll just have to have Christmas in October this year. That's it, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.